Hey everyone, welcome to Princess a Gay. I'm your host Connie, and we are back with another episode, specifically episode 7 of Dead End Paranormal Park Season 2. So last time Norma quit, which I don't think was out of any kind of, at all, negativity towards anyone. Like, even towards Badia, who rejected her, it's like, I don't think she, like, hates her or dislikes her. Like she said, she still considers her friends. And I think it's basically as she said, she needs time away from all of this. She needs a break. She needs a mental health vacation, in a way. And while maybe quitting is a little extreme of a way to do it, she could have just like said something like, "Oh, I need time off. I need to take a break. I can't do this for now." She could have done something like that. Um, I feel like this is something she does need to do. With coming to terms with the fact that she had these feelings for Badia, as well as being rejected, as well as just everything else that's gone on in such a short amount of time, taking a break for that kind of reason is important. And it's something that we do need to acknowledge and teach better in real life. That mental health is important, just as important as physical health. And that we need to take care of our mental health, that we need to take mental health breaks when necessary. And it's something that unfortunately a lot of people still don't take seriously. A lot of people still think like, "Oh, you need to take a mental health break, you snowflake. You must just be weak or something." I don't know. I don't know the kind of bullshit they always spew. It's like I know some things, but it's like I don't think like that typically, so it's hard to like mock them like by saying what they would say. Either way, yeah, it's just it's wild that there are still people who think that way and still like act like mental health isn't important. It's ridiculous to even think that. So I don't argue with her doing this. I'm just curious as to where this is going to go. We also know Fingers and the Watcher are planning something. Don't know what that's going to be about yet, but I don't have good vibes from it at all. Um, Last episode also touched on um, just the idea of Pugsley feeling left out. I don't think I talked about that much in the afterthoughts last time, but I did notice it. Pugsley's little song there and his feelings of, his friends kind of leaving him out of stuff and not being as connected to them. And I get that he's a dog. I understand that obviously he feels like he should be more attached because of that. And he has that's how dogs can tend to be. They get really attached to their owners, to their quote unquote friends, and they want to be around them all the time. So, yeah, it makes sense. But at the same time, it's like Pugsley is also human level intelligent. Maybe not like adult human level. I'd say maybe teenage intelligence, but he still does have human level intelligence. And he understands, he should understand that people are allowed to have other friends and allowed to spend time with other people. But he's still nonetheless jealous. And that's fine. That's perfectly natural. Um, but it is something he needs to work on. I'm not blaming him or Barney or Norma or anyone like that. It's just something that needs to be worked on by all parties in order to ensure that everything stays copacetic between them. Because if they just hide this and everything, then it's going to end poorly. And of course, we had our favorite little demon trying to figure out if she is a little demon. Courtney was trying to worry about her origins again, and ends up getting or ends up finding someone that looks like her for the first time ever. However, she doesn't get to speak to them before the Watcher comes. So we still don't know. We still have the question of whether or not Courtney is actually a demon that is still on edge, and we're starting to maybe think that she's not. Which begs the question, what are they, if not a demon? Because we only have demons, humans, and angels. Are they an angel? And if so, there's a lot of questions surrounding that. I'm curious. I'm genuinely curious to see what this is about. But yeah. Excuse me. But this is really interesting. I believe I said last time as well that this season seems to be going more serious and more like focused than season 1 was. Not that season 1 was bad by any means, it's just not as focused. So I'm just wondering where this is going to all lead to, because it's clearly leading to something. Either way, we should probably just get this started and see what the episode has in store for us. I don't know what to expect at all. So, when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and it fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So yeah, like I said in the reaction, I knew about this already. Again, I didn't know the details, but I knew that Norma came out at some point this season, and I knew that she was specifically bi. It's something that I just had been spoiled on due to social media, and it's unfortunate, but honestly, at this point, I had already kind of guessed that. So it wasn't even a big surprise to me anyway, so I'm not really that upset about it. Basically, when she found out that she liked Badya in the first place, it's like I kind of figured that she was most likely bi. It just, everything kind of felt that way to me, if I'm just being honest. And I'm pansexual myself, but there was a time where I did identify myself as bi as well. So maybe it's because, maybe it is a little bit of just how much I see of myself in Norma, but it's like, that aspect of things did kind of probably influence my view on that. And also, like, I really fucking wish that it was as easy in real life as it is in cartoons and stuff, coming out to your parents and all. Because it's like, the dog might start barking in a moment, by the way. Because it's like, you see in like a lot of these cartoons or whatnot where it does have a character coming out and it's like, oh, the parents are usually pretty accepting. It's like, oh, like, we accept you, we're completely fine with this. There's nothing wrong with this at all. It's like, I wish it was that. I wish it went that well in real life. Like, even outside my father, my mother, like, she's more accepting, but has not been the best about it either. She's just not as bad as my father and everything. And it's just like every time I see like one of these like coming out things where it's like, oh, just it all goes really well. It's like I feel really jealous and sad. And it's like I don't. I kind of would like to see a situation where it goes poorly. I know that sounds mean and everything, but just to have something that I can connect to in that regard, um, where a character isn't just accepted openly by their parents and has to deal with that. I mean, we kind of get with Barney and his grandmother, but it's like it's not really the same as with direct parentage, you know? And it's like, I feel like it's also kind of important to have that kind of representation for all kinds of people who don't get that kind of just unwavering support. Yeah, it's always great to like see the ones who do give support. That's always wonderful to see. But there should be representation for the other side too. As much as I hate to say it, just for everyone who is going through those kinds of issues in real life. Because there's so much that can be like given to children, especially who are going through this, who are not accepted by seeing that kind of thing. And again, I'm not like saying that this was bad or anything because Norma's mom is so accepting. No, it's great. It's wonderful. It made me super emotional. But at the same time, it's like I'm just jealous, you know, because my situation was very much not like that. Like it's to a point where it's like if I ever did like get married, I don't know if I could invite my parents to my wedding. Because if I marry a girl, we'd probably both be in wedding dresses. If I marry a guy, I'll be in the dress. And especially my father will see that in a different light. And if I marry an NB, it's like it could go any way, and I don't know what they would wear, what they would want to wear. Whatever they'd be comfortable with. It's just, I feel like no matter what, there'd be discomfort in regards to how my parents and especially my father would act, and it's like, so it's like seeing this kind of unwavering acceptance is, I just wish I had that, because it's like so much in my life is like unbalanced because of that, for lack of a better term. And like I said in the reaction as well, as I paused it and everything, coming out is a process, and only the person coming out should ever be the one deciding how lengthy of a process that is. Mine went very quick, and honestly, I wish it wasn't so quick. I honestly wish I had taken a little more time. But that's in the past now. Norma is taking more time with it. Logs is taking more time with it. And that's completely valid as well. And it should be a process. It should be completely up to the person who would be coming out. Unfortunately, we're also in a day and age where people are so fucking nosy over people. And there's been like celebrities who have been like outed by news or have been threatened to be outed by the news and everything. And it's like, Jesus fuck. Can we not do shit like that? But this episode mostly focuses on just the very complex feelings that Norma is feeling after her rejection. She felt she needed to quit and go home because she felt like she ruined her relationship with Badia. Even though she still considered her a friend, she felt like Badia wouldn't want to be hers, and she felt like it would be too awkward and that their relationship just couldn't continue anymore. And she felt it was ruined. Which, mind you, it wasn't. Like, Badia would never view it that way, but we see how much she's struggling with it, with her emotions around it. And we see that it's become just a huge deal. And that's perfectly valid. That's perfectly reasonable. As I've said, I've been rejected before plenty of times. And it hurts. There's been multiple people, multiple girls, notably, that I have asked out. And every time I've been rejected. And it hurts. And it very much feels like, especially if it's someone you were friends with before, that it could ruin the relationship. Believe me, I've been there. I understand what Norma's going through. And just the worries, the concerns, and the overthinking. Norma's entire little arc here. I'm glad they didn't take too long, because they could have easily made this last the entire rest of the season, really. But instead, it's basically just for this episode. She ends up realizing that she needs to go back and patch things up and make things right. That she also messed up when she just ran from her problems. And so she's going to work on it. She's going to tell her. And it's great. Pauline's inclusion in this episode felt like they just wanted to put Pauline in here. But it's also setting up for something, I guess, considering the main Pauline figure hitched a ride with Norma back to Phoenix Parks. I don't know what that's going to be about, but I guess we'll see. But Pauline returning here is like, yeah, we found out that the Watcher just kind of zaps people to demon prison rather than killing them, than smiting them. But still, it feels like Pauline just returning and just kind of like appearing in Norma's house is just honestly. It's just a very, I don't want to say completely forced, but kind of forced addition to this. And I feel like it did take away a little bit from what otherwise could have been like probably the best episode of the show. Because there still could have been everything going on with logs and the calls and needing the seance kit and everything. That could have all still been the same. No problem with that. Um, and there could have been maybe even more with that. Hints of stuff happening and hints of things like maybe he's hiding stuff that's going on in the background and everything. But the Pauline thing as well just took away a little bit from that and from Norma's stuff. Because it's like this otherwise could have been a very just relaxed, calm episode that could have focused more on Norma and her struggles and her coming out and everything. And I feel like it would have been wonderful to see that just more so just in general. I just feel like Pauline's part in here wasn't necessary. It felt needless. It felt just like thrown in for the hell of it. And again, it might lead to something really good later on. That's very possible, but I nonetheless am not altogether thrilled about it. Just the way it was handled and everything. But maybe that's just me. I don't know. I just feel like it just took away too much of the attention away from everything else that was going on. Like the stuff with Norma, like getting annoyed by all of the Pauline stuff still in the house and everything, and that could have stayed. That was fine. Like it's just Pauline herself and possessing the dolls. It's like that's my only gripe with the episode. And it's not even that big of a gripe, if I'm being completely honest. But yeah, either way, otherwise, like, in a lot of ways, this was the best episode of the show. And it had so much just wonderful depth and emotion to it, relatability and care put into it. So, I really loved it, obviously. But tell me in the comments below, what did you think of this episode of Dead End Paranormal Park Season 2? And for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.